What's up, YouTube? Battle City Gaming here. Today we're here with Alexis Avila. So, what did you do?
I made day 2 of YCS Pasadena in 2019, ended up placing 1/10 of their Swiss. So yeah, I played with the Orcust, just a profile with, I want to say, kind of variable for being options for going first and second. Ended up going really well. My matchups were pretty standard. I had 2 losses, 1 tie, and everything else was a win. Oh, sorry, 3 losses. Two of my losses were to Draco, other one was a mirror match, and my tie was to Safer Combo Dragon. So yeah, and everything else I just faced 2 mirror matches, Salamangreat, and then 1 Draco player that I won against, and then that's pretty much it. Yeah, I want to say.
Okay, can we take a look at your deck profile?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so then for the Orcust package is pretty simple. Start off with 3 Harp, 3 Nightmare, 2 Symbol, and then 1 Bombard. I ended up putting the 3rd Harp like the Wednesday before the before the tournament. Ended up working out with 3 Return, and helped out especially because of with Gizmek, so that way I can make sure that I still had some plays. I did have some moments where I would banish 2 of my Harp and 2 Nightmare, and it cut close, but then it still work out. And also the 1 of Wand, really good. Sad that it's not getting a super in the OTS, but it still helps a lot with extending, especially if you're scared of Ash, you can. What I've done is I dump Nightmare and Nightmare Effect, and they don't Ash, just I dump this, just because I'm scared of Ash. Or if I know they have it, like if they had like a Salamangreat player, he added it back with Salamangreat Wolf. After that, starters, 3 Math, the 2 Warriors, and then 1 Scrap.
Why one scrap recycler in particular?
In the end, I didn't want to run too many starters, with the fear of I guess opening too many. Realistically, the best 2 are these, and I want to try to open as much as possible, which is why I'm also running 1 Rhoda. Scrap is the best after that, but the only problem is that if I were to go second against Striker, Draco, and then they open their Chameleon 1, I'm kind of just out of luck, because I don't really have an out to it, really. So that's why I played it. I mean, I still kept the 1 Scrap just so I can have a different type of starter, and the ability to send something like Nightmare, Gizmek, or World Wand in the event that I needed it. And then Math also, just because with their Chameleon 1, or if I'm locked into it and it gets ashed, it's the best just because I get a draw off of it if they disrupt a battle.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, or mix it so that way they have to send it off a ding in the fear that I get to draw something that I can use.
Yeah.
And after that, just 3 extenders. Nasher, which honestly were kind of the MVP of the weekend, one of them, just because it allowed me to break boards, come back from games where I would summon Ding from grave, and then just this card fodder as well. It just really helps out with putting Orcust monsters in grave and other monsters like World Wand. I just did a lot of work this weekend and just broke boards, and definitely I've considered playing 2, but I wanted to see it as much as possible, and it worked out. Even against Draco, I would contact Fuse with their Inspector border, which came up a lot. And after that, just 3 Ash, pretty standard. I don't want to run more hand jobs, and I can't afford Phantasmic, so I thought this was just best just because it hits so many different decks and rogue meta, and it helps me play. Yeah.
Fair enough. Do you remember how many monsters you played in total?
Not off the top of my head. 13, 16. I want to say like 23, something along that line.
23. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. And then for spells, Mandatory Babble, best card in the Orcust package in my opinion. Just if Konami needs to hit something, it'd be this, because this allows us to play some opponent turn, and that's what makes it so strong. After that, it'd be 3 Return. Just draw a card, get stuff into grave, it just pluses you really hard. And it's a nice Ash bait when you have a starter in hand, so that way you can guarantee the starter goes off, or that you can get an Orcust in grave. After that, 3 Call By, just to make sure that I can play, and then also helps out against some other matchups. Came up in the mirror match actually, where I would I knew I was in a position where I can definitely get ahead. So then I would call by the grade my opponent's Harp War and then chain my own, just that way I can make sure the next turn I have plays, and then that way my opponent can't play. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay.
And then the 2 ofs.
2 of
So
2 cosmic.
Cyclone and 2 instant. Cosmic came up not as much as I wished. After playing the event, after round 5 playing against 3 Dracos, I kind of wish it was Twin Twisters, but in the end, in the mirror matches, it came up better just because I was able to remove their Babel or their Crescendo from play, and then just guarantee that I can be able to play safely during my turns. And then the 2 instant fusion were also an MVPs along with Nasher. Just being able to go into 1,000 Eyes Restrict. I only set up the window lock once this weekend.
Okay.
But 1,000 Eyes Restrict being able to help me break boards and then serving as an extender as well for my turns when I open like a hard board plus instant fusion. And it makes it really safe for me to be able to go and take Galatea without the fear of being Ash and having to end on just a starter. And then just a standard one was the extender starter. I'd always save the Foolish just in case they Ash my starter, they Ash my Harp War. Just how we can send like World Wand and then make sure I can get into Galatea and at least on Babel, or even potentially on like Babel or Crescendo if I need to, depending on the situation I hand or where my matchup is. And then just 4 traps being the 1 Crescendo. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then 3 Imperm.
3 Imperm. Okay. Have you considered playing a second copy of Crescendo, or do you think that's a little bit too bricky?
Honestly, it's a little too bricky, and I'm personally wondering. I feel like Crescendo's good, but I feel like the power in this deck relies in Babel, just being able to do stuff during your opponent's turn. And I've considered playing 2 Babel just in case my opponent banishes my first one, and then just so that way I can guarantee I draw into it. But the chance of drawing into both of them is, I don't want to have that. So I think I'd rather just still leave them at 1, especially since they're basically searchable with Galatea. So I'd rather just keep them at 1. But Crescendo's second effect really came up a lot today. Like there were moments where I'd opened it and I would set it in the hopes that my opponent would remove it, just so that way I can banish it, add Gizmek, so that I can guarantee myself another turn. And it came up a lot where I'd be just a couple off life, like 1,000. I just summon Gizmek and then I live, and then next turn I can just roll it back with everything I have in my grave. And yeah, it really helped out a lot.
Okay. How big was your deck in total?
After everything, came up to 40 cards. It was almost 41, but I decided to just cut the 3rd instant fusion, just so I can keep a little more consistency in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, what do we have next? The extra deck?
Yeah, we'll do the extra deck. So extra deck, Link Rebo. This is just for Bombard, in case that not sure as well, but mainly Bombard, in the event that I would open Bombard plus another Orcust monster, just that way I can guarantee that I can combo, and also it sort of plays around their only one, in the sense that if they were to their only one me after I summon the machine, I can just go into Phoenix, and then pop, and then I can go off from there. It came out too, where I would break with Nasher or this, and then I was able to still survive because of Link Repo. And then also with 1,000 Eyes Restrict and having this engrave is really useful, just so I can guarantee myself some more turns, so I can dig further in my deck.
Yeah.
Masquerena, best card out of Chaos Impact in my opinion. Ended on her a lot, and she came through quite a bit today. Like the weekend, and in the sense that my opponent would mainly try to focus on her. It did suck when I'd get super polyed with her on field, but I know I'm playing myself into that, so I'd always make sure I have some sort of backup, like symbol engrave or something, so that we can guarantee that I can actually still make some plays during my bonus turn. After that, the 2 Nightmares, pretty self-explanatory. Nothing I really would change with them. And then Brosword, standard as well. I didn't choose to play. I chose to not play any of the top logics this weekend, and so that way I can play not just these 2, but these 2. I chose to take out Trisbania and Zerboros in favor of these 2, just so that way I can break boards, and then mirror match just devastating. And then also came up against Draco. In the end, I think I kind of wished I had Trisbania against Draco matches, but then in most of them, they had ways of hindering me in the sense that I wouldn't be able to go into Trisbania regardless. So after the 11 rounds, I think it was more worth it to play these 2.
Yeah.
And it came in clutch more, and then 1,000 Eyes Restrict, just so much utility, really good. Window lock, and then, yeah, nothing much else for the fusions. And then for the Orcust package, it's just pretty standard. Just 3, 2, 1. One ulti, excuse me, sorry. But yeah, I ended up going to the third Gaute a lot, and I think that was just me, being dumb sometimes and not managing my resources too well. But then it did come up where my opponent would just keep outing my stuff, and I had to go to
the third Gaute.
yeah, third Gaute. I had several games where I'd have like 11 cards in deck, and then I'd rely on these two just to come back, and it'd work. Yeah, I wasn't sure how I did it, but I ended up just winning some matchups where I felt like I should have lost, but because of long gears too, and be able to shuffle back monsters and guaranteeing myself to have more turns, have some plays, and also so I don't kill myself off of Gizmek. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Your side deck.
And then for my side deck, I want to say it's pretty standard. 3 Lancia. It's a must. Just against the mirror, different matchups, like even Moonlight, Orcust. Theory and Bureau. I didn't side this as much as I wanted to this weekend, I think. But it did come up where it'd win me matchups. And even against my round 10 opponent, a Thunder player, he was on his fourth summon. I think he could have gamed me, but he just went to his 5th summon, and it allowed me to activate Nibiru and make sure I can kill him next turn. And it got me the game. So yeah. 3 Mind Control. Really good card going second. It's a really powerhouse just because your opponent has to respond to it. There's not much else to it, and it also serves as an extender. It does feel bad when they make you go first after siding for going second, or when they don't enter any monsters, but in the end, it just you just save it for later. Like one time I opened double Mind Control. I set up my turn, had these in hand, waited, and then during my opponent's turn, just Mind Control these 2 monsters, and then Boral Sword for kill. And then 3 Twin.
3 Twin.
And 3 Red Reboot for back row decks. I set it in Twin quite a bit. Red Reboot only when I'm against the Draco player. And against the Draco players, only came up once, but ended up getting Judgmented and cost me the game against my round 1 Draco. But I think this is probably the card I would consider cutting from my extra deck, but I still want the utility in case go against some other rogue trap deck like Guru or Altergeist if you consider it rogue, just because I hate dealing with it, and then it allows me to go in for the kill as well. Yeah, that's pretty much this deck profile.
Okay, before we end, do you have anything you may have done differently with the deck, or how you played potentially?
I think I should have been a little bit more aggressive in some of my matchups, particularly against my round 1 opponent. There was a moment where I should have activated Twin Twister against his sets, and I didn't. I hesitated, and that's what led him to having the Judgment against my Red Reboot. There were other times where I think, honestly, I should have been a little more aggressive and not held back. And if they have it, they have it. Simple as that. Other than that, probably just make sure, like, I would find myself where after, like, I passed, where I could have gone into Masquerena, but I just completely forgot. And I think it could have ended on something better, but in the end, it just worked out. Ended up, still getting day 2. So in the end, I was still happy with how everything went in the deck. Probably just some minute changes specifically for the event, like the Cosmics, changed them up for twins inside the Cosmics. But like I said, it just worked out for me, and I was happy with my performance for my first YCS. So yeah.
And congratulations again, Alexis. Thank you again for the deck profile. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Battle City Gaming YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.